Hi everyone, I'm Nadi and today I'm going to show you what I like to do on my ladies' holiday, or in other words, when I'm menstruating. I often get asked by new students whether they should keep practicing when they have their period or take some time off or what the right thing to do is. And the first thing that I like to tell them is that that decision is totally up to you. I'm not here to prescribe anything to you in terms of you must do this or you must do that. That being said, I do encourage my female students to take the 3 heaviest days of their menstrual cycle off. And the reason that I encourage that is that as we continue to do this practice, as we get stronger, our bandhas get stronger. So we have more of an ability to engage that upward movement that the bandhas creates. When we're menstruating, the body is trying to release. There's a downward energy that we really need to work with. And if we engage our bandhas during that time, we interfere with the body's natural rhythm and what it's trying to do. And I've experienced this myself. Early on in my practice, I didn't used to take those 3 days off, and I found that I would actually interfere with my cycle. So perhaps the next month, my flow would be off, or I could just feel that something was off. So I decided to try taking those 3 days off every month, and I noticed a drastic improvement in the regularity of my cycle and just my overall well-being. I think as women, we often don't want to give ourselves the time to rest, but just allowing myself to rest was very healing energetically. And so if you feel compelled to, I encourage you to take rest on those 3 days. Now, I do like to move my body a bit on those 3 days, so that's what I'm going to show you today. It's a very gentle practice that you can do. You could do this at home, or if your teacher is open to it, you could go to your shala and do it. I encourage my female students to come to the shala and do a gentle restorative practice because I think it really is beneficial for the energy of the room to have that feminine energy there. So for this practice, you don't need a ton of props. But one thing I do recommend is a chair that has either the back taken out of it or has some sort of opening that you can fit your legs through. And in the description link at the bottom of the video, I will include a link to a chair that I found on Amazon. This is a chair I'm going to use today to show you. And it's quite cheap, $12 or something, so feel free to pick that up. And if you have a blanket, a bolster, and a pillow, those can be helpful, but not necessary. Okay, so I will see you on the mat.
We want to start in a hands and knees position with the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees, and then shift into a gentle cat and cow. So as you inhale, arching the spine, and as you exhale, rounding the spine. As it feels comfortable to you, you could take that arch and that rounding into the neck as well, as long as there's no tension in the neck. And as you're breathing and moving, remember to keep a soft belly. No bandha engagement here at all. And explore the full range and depth of this movement along with the breath. And then we're going to shift that into spinal circles. So continuing to sync with the breath, inhaling as you're arching and exhale as you're rounding, but taking it into a circular motion. And go slowly. Explore each part of that circle. And then you can take those circles the other way, reversing the motion and exploring each point in the circle. Breathe into any places that feel a little stuck or stagnant. And then we're going to come back to a flat back and then take the knees to the width of the mat and allow your hips to sit back onto your heels in an extended child's pose. You can rest your forehead on the floor if that's accessible to you. And again, deep breathing, keeping a soft belly. Allow your belly to expand as you inhale. And oftentimes when we're menstruating, we feel sensations in the lower back. So breathe into any sensations that you might be feeling of pain or discomfort. And you can stay in that position with the arms extended or bend at the elbows and clasp the hands gently behind the neck. This allows you to deepen the stretch a little bit in the lower back and the armpits. What we want to be sure of here, though, is that we're not pushing or forcing in any way, but simply allowing the breath to deepen. And then extend the arms back out, and then we're going to slowly walk those hands over to one side, stretching the side body, breathing into the side body. And taking those hands over to the opposite side now. And bringing those arms back to center. A couple more breaths here. And then we'll come up into a seated position. So you can bring the knees together and either sit right on the heels, or if it's accessible to you, you might move the calves out of the way and sit down onto the ground in between the heels. If that's not quite accessible, you could also elevate the hips a little bit by putting a block or something else underneath the hips. And then take one arm up to the ceiling and the other arm behind the back. See if you can clasp. If you can't quite clasp, you could take a towel and hold that in between your hands and just gently lean the head back. Always deep breathing with a soft belly. And then go ahead and switch. And releasing that. And we're going to slowly make our way to a reclining position. So any way that feels good to you to do that, you're gently going to lie down and hug the knees into the chest. And then slowly allow the legs to drift to one side in a gentle reclining twist. So the legs are going one way and the head is turning the other way. And breathe into the side body here, the hips, the lower back. And gently swing the legs over to the other side, turning the head in the opposite direction. And bringing the legs back to center, you can either repeat that same twist or we can deepen that by crossing one leg over the other and gently bringing the legs into the twist on the first side again. So if you're twisting to the left, you want your right leg crossed over the left, and then you're going to twist to your left, taking the legs over to the left, the head over to your right. And bringing them back to center, switching the crossing of your legs. So if you're going to be taking the legs over to the right side now, you bring the left leg on top and slowly allow the legs to drift to the right as your head turns to the left. And bringing the legs back to center, uncrossing. Give them a little hug. Any little movements here that feel good are totally fine to do. And then we're going to make our way to a seated position, so you could either just rock up or roll to one side and then gently press up. And this is where you're going to go and get your chair. You want to set that chair up so that the back of the chair, you're facing the back of the chair. And I like to get into the chair by sitting to the side and then swinging my legs underneath the back of the chair. And here we're going to do some supported back bends. So we want to start by scooting the hips forward and finding that sweet spot in the upper back as you start to lean back. If you feel pain here in your upper back, you could put a blanket on the seat of the chair. That might help. If you feel fine, you could even explore straightening the legs. And the arms here are coming through the legs of the chair and grabbing the back legs. This is a really good opening for the chest and the upper back. So take deep, deep breaths. And as you come up, the first thing you want to do is grab a hold of the chair, bend the legs, plant the feet firmly on the ground, and slowly come up. Your head is the last thing to come up. So you're leading with your heart, and this, just allow yourself to rest for a few breaths. And you can repeat that again. So to the extent that feels comfortable to you, you could keep the legs bent with the feet firmly planted on the ground, or you could straighten them. And again, find that sweet spot in the upper back with the seat of the chair that feels really good. A strong, powerful opening that's deepened by deep breaths. And again, gently, slowly coming up. First by grabbing the chair, bending the knees, planting the feet on the ground, and then coming up and resting. And let's do this one more time. You could repeat the same arm position that we've been working with, or if you're feeling pretty open in the back and you want to take it a little deeper, you could grab the elbows, so clasp the elbows and allow the arms to extend overhead. Again, no forcing, only do this if it feels good. And again, gently coming up and allowing yourself to rest for a few breaths before moving on. And when you feel ready, we're going to just put that chair aside. And if you have a blanket, now is a good time to grab it. You just need something that's going to serve as a support for you. So it could be a blanket, a pillow, really anything that you can rest your head on. We're going to take a gentle supported seated forward fold here. So I like to keep my knees a little bit bent here, bent out to the sides. My toes are pointing out to the sides. And I just let my head rest on the blanket or whatever you are using to support yourself. And you can stay there, or now you could choose to straighten the legs. You might need to adjust your blanket or your support system a little bit. And allow yourself again to drop into a supported forward fold. And now we'll shift into our finishing. So put the blanket aside and we'll take a comfortable cross-legged position. I like to have my feet flexed and my lower legs parallel to the front of the mat. And then we clasp the elbows behind the back and gently fold forward. Deep breathing. We'll come up and you can switch the crossing of the legs here if you like. And then we'll interlace the fingers and press the palms up towards the ceiling. Drop the head a little bit and allow this position here to deepen your breath even more. And as you exhale, reach the arms forward, keeping them in that same position. And inhale, come up and release your palms down onto your lap, left palm on top of the right. And deep breathing now. Allow your belly to be totally soft, expanding with every inhale and naturally contracting with every exhale. No force, no effort in the belly area. And if it feels good to you to open the mouth as you release that exhale, feel free. If you feel like sounding at all, feel free. And now we'll shift into Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, keeping a soft belly, no bandha engagement. And you can even take one hand to your belly so that you make sure it's super soft and relaxed. If you haven't practiced Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, you start by making a gentle fist with the right hand and extending the last two fingers and the thumb out. The third finger you use to control your left nostril, your thumb you use to control your right. And you take an inhale through the left nostril, close and exhale out the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril, close and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right, exhale through the left. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale right, exhale left. And continuing with that same pattern. And after your next complete round, release that hand and just take a few more deep breaths through both nostrils, allowing your whole body to fill with breath. We're going to move into our final rest now. So before we do that, feel free to take any movements that feel good. I like to sometimes do a seated twist, one side and then the other. Anything here that you feel your body still needs. And when you're ready, you can just lie yourself down on your back. Give yourself another little hug. If you need to take a twist, any hip circles, feel free to do that. I like to massage out my lower back here a little bit by taking the knees in a circle one way and then a few times the other way. You can also take a happy baby here by taking the heels up and gently pressing the feet down into the earth, perhaps rocking side to side. And once you feel complete, just allow yourself to come into a comfortable, relaxing position. You could rest the feet on the floor, allow their knees to rest against each other, or simply let the legs extend out underneath you. If you have some props available to you, this is a really good time to use them. You can put a bolster underneath your knees, a pillow underneath your head, and then to make it super delicious, you can put a blanket on top of you so that you stay really warm. I like to get my hands underneath the blanket and rest them on my belly. And once you're in a comfortable position, just allow yourself to rest for as long as you like.